My name is Mustafa and I created a 3D graphics engine in C++ using STL3. So this graphics engine is running entirely on the CPU and it's completely made from scratch. Like all of the maths and the rendering is done from scratch without any libraries, and I've implemented phone lighting, as you can see with the speculars here, and .obj loading to load 3D models as well as textures, which I will show in a second. So the models are made up of triangles, and I render the triangles using my draw triangle function, and in here I work out all the normals and the direction vectors and all this like maths to be able to calculate the shading and the specular and the final color to produce this lighting, which looks pretty nice. And I also implemented a moving camera. Moving a camera when creating a 3D graphics engine from scratch is actually very difficult. It involves normalizing or finding like the location of the position of a vertex relative to the camera, and when rotating the camera like I'm doing right now, it involves some more maths. So in this project I did a lot of maths to implement this, because everything was from scratch. If I had implemented it using a library, it would have done a lot of the stuff for me. So I learned a lot by doing it this way. And I also implemented texture loading. So I implemented UV mapping. The UV is interpolated across each triangle, and it is mapped. A texture is mapped onto the model to produce this loaded texture. So this is quite a low poly model, but in my opinion, it still looks pretty nice, because it's pretty cool to think that I went from just a triangle all the way up to a nice looking car. And you can also see the phone lighting. So to load the .obj files, I look at the prefix in each line, because each line has a prefix that defines what that line does. For example, V defines a vertex, Vn defines a vertex normal, and the normals are really important when in the lighting and also the textures, because that determines all the shading. And the V2 is the UV of the vertex, and that's essential for the texture. And the prefix F indicates a face. So each face is made up of 3 vertex positions that define like 3 or more, because each face is a polygon. It's a 2D shape, and it's made up of vertices and vertex normals, because each vertex has a normal and VT. This is optional. Not all 3D models have this, and even not all 3D models have the vertex normal. And then I read all of this and put it into my mesh struct. So this mesh struct has a vector of vertices. Each vertex is made up of a position, a normal, and a UV. And there's also a material associated with each mesh. This is to do with not only the texture, but this also defines the ambient, the diffuse specular of each material. For example, if I wanted a particular material to be red, but when light reflects off it, the specular is blue. So those little highlights are blue. I can define all those properties in here. I can make it more shiny, less shiny, and the diffuse map is basically the texture image that's associated with the material. And yeah, I also have a window. So this window takes in input. So it detects when the mouse is pressed down. This was before when I was implementing mouse dragging to rotate the object, but now I don't do that. So I look at the state of each character. WASD EQ to move the camera forwards, backwards, left, right, up and down, and also the arrow keys to rotate the camera. And that's basically it. This is my 3D graphics engine. I hope you like it. Thank you.